Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I am Gelmig and today I am doing my very first video review of an action figure. This is the Mcfarlane Toys Darkseid and I am dubbing over what I have done. So already out of the gate, things happened. Audio issues weren't working very well, so I decided rather than re-record the whole video, let's just dub over and comment on how previous Mig, did the video. So yeah, so here we are. So here we are doing the intro for Darkseid. And I'm practically reviewing Mig's review of Darkseid. So I talk about my professional setup with the illustration boards and the ring light. But we're looking at the box for Mcfarlane Toys Darkseid. So we look at the back of the box. You can see my ring light glaring the picture of Darkseid, cutting off right where his head is. So that's perfect. And that's really it for the box. And all that's left is to open the figure, see what it's like, if Darkseid really is. And here we are, Darkseid, out of the packaging, free from his plastic bonds. He looks great. He looks great. He's standing on the shelf, just standing there. He's pretty imposing, especially if you compare it to your other Mcfarlane figures, or other figures in general, if you collect 6 or 7 inch scale. The thing with Darkseid is there's a lot of him just standing around, being menacing, being cool, and this figure captures it very, very well. Just you can pose him in such a disappointed look, like, oh my god, oh my gosh, Steppenwolf. So as usual, Mcfarlane very good with the sculpts, but I do have a minor issue with the head. We'll look at it here. It's a little bit asymmetrical. Now I decapitate Darkseid here just to be able to show you, but you can see on the bottom left side, it's a little bit not right. However, it does look a little bit, it doesn't bother me as much for this figure. It doesn't look too far off. And if you look at it here, it's like it's not very obvious. And because it's this sort of battle warrior version of Darkseid, the sidewards helmet actually doesn't bother me so much. Now, he usually stands properly and easily, except, of course, now he's on camera, he becomes camera shy. Now I talk about here the paint, and the paint sort of reminds me of the other Mcfarlane Toys figure, the Mcfarlane Toys Devastator figure, where it's grayish with black tints. I point out I have a very prominent black tint right there, so that's sort of bothersome. But the rest sort of looks good. The wash over it looks good. He looks dirty. He looks mean. He looks like he's war torn. So now I put down the arms just so you can see what his arms sort of look like. He has the same arms on both sides, but I say he comes with 2 separate arms, but he comes with 2 separate hands. One open palm and one holding palm, as you can see in the video at the moment. And then we go down to his skirt piece, which all the blue, by the way, is soft rubber. And oh, the butt, oh, big, yo. He is wearing underwear. It's a soft piece. Like I said, most of the blue pieces are soft rubber, save for the feet and the ankles, I believe, and the butt. Now I'm talking about a problem here. You can see a little bit of the thin blue plastic, where it was cut from the mold, the flap. There you go. You see a little extra blue plastic. It came attached to the side skirt piece, and I had to sort of rip it off. And now that it's ripped off, you can see that this. Yeah, you can see it's a little bit more loose. The stop area where it's connected to, it seems to be very weak and very thin, and I'm kind of worried it's gonna just give up one day. So far it's okay. I've had it for a couple of days now, and so far it's all right. But do be careful with this with your figure. Oh, also the leg. Yeah, the legs, the leg armor is blue paint, is sculpted and painted blue, but that's the only blue paint. This the leg armor and the foot and ball. The paint is good except for this one part where he missed a little bit. So you can see the details on the boots, the legs, everything. Just if you're talking just about looks, this Darkseid figure looks good. He looks like a good representation of that part of the film where Darkseid came and attacked Earth. And look at me finicking with Darkseid. With one hand, of course. There you go. That's my other hand. You should have used that, Mr. Gelmig. I'm saying here that it doesn't take too much work to get this guy to look good. So it comes with a glaive. Looking at the accessories, it comes with this glaive. It goes to the hand, but it's super stiff. It's really hard to get it in the hand, actually. And you can see here, I'm using all my strength to pry open the hands, and not saying that I'm a very strong man, but it's still a very. So I'd probably heat up the hand better, but look at me forcing it into the hand. There you go. Once it's in, what I would do is roll it so that it goes under those fingers. So that's what I do. But maybe, I mean, if you had more time, better to heat it up. Roll it. And he looks good with it. I can't decide whether to display it with or without. The thing is, I have to decide because it's hard to get it on. This video is really long. The original audio seems to be a lot of rambling. So I also have to ramble because I'm doing a dub over. Okay, so now we show the other accessories. A character card. You can see my ring light on it. Spotlighting Darkseid himself. Look at the back here. You can pause if you want to read it. I think it's clear enough. Maybe not. That's cool. Look at that. Look at Mig flipping that card very well. Smoothly. And then we get a DC Multiverse base as we come with. That comes with a lot of Mcfarlane figures. So yeah, that's cool. He doesn't need it personally. Now we're gonna go into the articulation segment. His head. You saw the ball joint earlier. He can look up, like not too far up. I say pretty far up in the original video, but it's not really that far up. So he can look up, he can look down very well, except I'll show you here. You can see a little bit of a gap behind the head above the neck. But it's not that bad. It's manageable. Then he can give you attitude. And there you go. You see again the ball joint. And it does what you want it to do. I had to cut here because it took me forever to put head back on. Like an embarrassing amount of time to put it back on. So I talk about how his head will do whatever. His arms come up. In fact, both his arms come up to give him a T-pose. They can rotate at the shoulder. The upper bicep area can rotate, but it's a tough rotation. Look at my fingers, really putting pressure on it. And after that, I don't really want to move it further than that because I don't want to break my figure. There you go. Oh no. Don't do it. Don't do it. So you can, but yeah, you can rotate. So you don't need to rotate the bicep. So yeah, so elbows are double jointed and they look good doing it. It doesn't break the sculpt, so that's nice to have. It doesn't go all the way, but it's great. The hands are not your standard Mcfarlane hands. They go up and down, but they're not the ball joint. And you can see the ratchets of the joint, which is unsightly a little bit. And moving back, you can see that. So it's a little bit unsightly, but you know, why would you do that? Why would you put ratchets, right? It doesn't work very well. Same on the other hand. I wish though the other hand had a vertical articulation, so you can play with the staff a little bit more. But you know, it is what it is. It still moves well. The open palm, maybe the horizontal movement works well. Now talking about his torso, can crunch that far forward, which is not bad considering it's a McFarlane figure. Crunches all the way back. That's pretty. It's pretty good for. It's pretty good, and he can do the hula hoops. So if you want Darkseid to do hula hoops, and oh no, Gelmig, what? No, that's oh man, I'm sorry about that, folks. Yeah, so that's a separate piece. The legs can shimmy back and forth. Oh, look at those! Look at that leg movement. He can kick forward, and Gelmig, if only to the other side, back not as much. The staff is getting in the way of the image. I'm sorry for that. His legs are pretty tight, which is good for knees anyway. They move around 90 degrees, which is good enough. I'm not gonna get my Darkseid into the most dynamic poses. So you have this weird knee rotation. I don't understand why this is for. I don't personally. I don't see myself using that as much. The feet goes up and down properly. It's the standard McFarlane ball joint, left, right. The toesies can move up. Oh, there's one thing that I'm going to note here, um, but I can't do it. I'm doing it off camera because I'm getting the glaive out. It's difficult. Just to show you how difficult it is. That was no cut. I should have cut that. I could have cut that. So okay, this is. I think this is. I don't think this is their intention, but it's a little bit of a happy accident. The hands are sculpted in such a way that you can have one over the other. So you can have Darkseid's iconic hands behind his back pose and have him look good doing it. I mean, I'm finicking right now because I'm on camera and I'm a little bit nervous. So, and this review is already going longer than I thought it would be. So, yeah, you can do that. By the way, if you guys are still here, thank you very much for letting me ramble. And I'm dubbing over my footage. So this is this is 2 times rambling. So I really appreciate you guys if you're here. So yeah, it looks nice doing that. In fact, I have that in my display. That's how I have him on display with his hand over his hands on his back. So now I'm gonna get into comparisons of other figures. So bringing in another DC Multiverse Mcfarlane figure. This is the Superman figure from the same line, the Justice League line. He's imposing. He's a good figure. A Superman, which I will bring it in here in a bit. There you go. I'm gonna be measuring. The Darkseid figure stands at 9.5 inches, I think. So mega figure is really nice for the 7-inch scale. Superman is a tall figure for a 7-inch scale, but Darkseid towering over him is pretty great. So he'll stand out on your shelf, and we'll take him out now and bring in a more standard 7-inch scale. So I'm gonna bring in my favorite, personally my favorite DC character, favorite superhero character in general, Green Lantern. There you go, pushing get out of the way, Darkseid. Green Lantern's here. So here you have the Green Lantern John Stewart from Mcfarlane Toys. It usually doesn't fall. Green Lantern knocked him down. So I was rambling about him not falling normally. I don't think I saw Green Lantern knock him down. So there, Green Lantern is just a standard 7-inch figure. So this is how it scales. Again, imposing. If you have it on your shelf, it'll be great. So I brought in the DC Collectibles Hal Jordan figure. This time did not knock Darkseid. He fell off by himself, which he normally doesn't. Again, camera shyness can do things to you, man. Look at me rambling in front of camera, and now that I'm dubbing over, I'm rambling less. But of course, that's not true. So here we are. Now, let me compare this to a standard 6-inch scale figures. This is Marvel Legends, I say standard. Marvel Legends are getting a little bigger. It's 6.5-inch scale, almost with the Iron Man. So Darkseid is a tall character. He is imposing, and I really like the size of Darkseid.
Oh, I forgot one figure you guys might be interested in seeing side by side is the Marvel Legends Armored Thanos Build-A-Figure. There they are. Um, so considerable size difference. Obviously, the Darkseid's in a 7-inch scale, supposedly 7-inch scale, whereas Thanos is in the 6-inch scale. But there's a huge height difference. Oh, about a head taller than Thanos. Um, and we compare the two weapons. It's not. I mean, we're not comparing sizes here, but this is dust. But that's their weapons side by side. So one is considerably larger than the other. But you know, the counterparts of each other in the Marvel and DC universe. Who do you think will win between the two of them? I have my thoughts.
I really like him. This is my first review ever. I wanted to be Darkseid. When Darkseid came out, I knew, and I was around the time thinking I want to make figure reviews just for funs. And they announced Darkseid. I knew I wanted to be Darkseid because as much as I love Green Lantern is my favorite comic character, but Darkseid is my favorite, one of my favorite comic villains, and this was my very first Darkseid figure, and I really like it, and I really like his portrayal in Zack Snyder's movie version of Justice League. Um, and I really hope that restore the Snyderverse. And I'm just rambling because the original audio, I'm just also rambling. So here I am. So, but all I'm saying is that the movie was a good depiction. This figure does it justice. I didn't think that it would look. I thought that I would want the armor version. Oh, it's an A, it's an A grade. So I gave an A rating. Nine 9.5 out of 10. So I gave him an A rating and a 9.5. Though, I think most of it is influenced by my love for the character. I thought I'd want the armored version, but here I am gushing over this topless version of Darkseid, which I really enjoyed it. So he looks like he means business. He's ready for you. Anyway, so there, I think the rambling's starting to be over. Thank you for joining. I'll turn you back to original recording Mig because his outro is pretty great and rambly.
And I definitely could. Do let me know. And yeah, I appreciate. So when you do go out to look for him, you might not remember my words, but yeah, whatevs. I hope you had fun. How do you outro a video? Anyway, so that's what I think about Darkseid. Let me know your thoughts if you have thoughts on it. If you have it already, if you're waiting for it, if you're anticipating it, if you're looking for it. Are you excited about it? Because I was excited and this did not disappoint. In fact, I think it surpassed my expectations. I wasn't really excited for the non-armored version of Darkseid, but now having him in hand, it looks great in my collection. So, there. Darkseid. Fun. Good figure. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. See ya. Woo. See ya.